Welcome back to New Meta Podcast. This is episode 52. Yes, we have jumped from 41 to 52. That's because I've decided to count all of the TI pods onto the number, just to, I don't know, make my CV look better or something, I don't know. But yeah, we're back. The return after a short break. Joining me, Marco and Adam. Marco, welcome back. It's been a little while. Not too long, but a little while.
It has, feels like a long time, given the TI madness of pod every day we did. So I've been missing it. I've been missing you two boys discussing our favourite game. Excited to get back into it.
Definitely. It's been too long. Too much pro Dota talk. I was getting a bit sick. It's like, come on. We're here to talk about pubs. We're here to talk about real Dota. Forget all this professional stuff. Yeah. Adam, feels good to be home in the pub scene.
Feels good to be back. Didn't miss the last two pods. Couldn't record for the semifinals or finals of TI. And then I went to China for a week. So it's been a long separation from Dota, it feels like.
Yeah, it's true. Going to China after TI.
Yeah, feels bad. In the Shanghai airport after TI. Just like,
what am I doing?
If only. Just 2 weeks too soon.
Yeah, although I don't know about Adam, but me and Marco won't be in that much despair for next TI, given it's in Europe. So,
the pog.
Already excited. Well, that's
another loss for North America.
You get minus mode, Capra.
Yeah, maybe.
You don't even get that. Yeah. So I feel like this is a new season of new meta, really. This is like season 2, kind of. Everything revolves around TI, including us, I guess.
Yeah.
This is like the second iteration.
You sure season 1 wasn't when you guys lived together? And then post moving out, season 2? It's like an old era, new era.
Maybe. That was like a patch, but this is This is like a...
Fair enough.
7.0, just like Dota 2, Dota 3, you know.
New Meta 2.
Yeah, New Meta 2, yeah. Well, I'm not going to bother with like full introductions, but we're more credible in Season 2 now that we're like all Divine Plus. And I say that.
The end of season MMR inflation, or medal inflation, is carrying us.
Yeah. I'm riding on the back of the MMR inflation. Bink Divine, and now I'm just living the dream. So, how have our games been? How have your games been, Marco? We've been playing some, to be fair.
Yeah, in the past few days we've been playing some. They got off to a bit of a stumble, a bit of a awkward start when it was me and you. We were playing on ranked, and there may have been an abandon, and there may have been a couple lost streaks. Then we bounced back really strong, flew into some ranked games, and the quality went up. And recently smashing some normals together, me and Stan. Bit of PMA, feels good.
Yeah. How do you like Dota? Yeah.
Oh, how do I like Dota? Usually I'm a very diverse hero player. I always, like when I would play ranked often, I'd always be playing new heroes every time. But now, when I don't play ranked, because I feel less comfortable on a wide array of heroes, I just stick to who's fun, which is Earthshaker, and I guess Mars, but I've only played him once. Mainly Earthshaker. Get
Ags first.
Just dunk around the map. It's so much fun. That's my name of the game recently.
Dirty boxy boy.
Marco's like, back when I played ranked, I used to play all these different kinds of heroes with spears and like big arenas and stuff. I played all of those kind of heroes.
My versatility was through the roof, man. 9+.
Whoa, Adam's current versatility is like 9.5.
Yeah, it's crazy good.
Ooh, step up.
No longer the days of CM Lich Snorefest.
Yeah, I've been exploring.
Who knows what that's from? I don't know why it's like that. I've only played 9 games post coming back from China, so I guess it's bleeding into a while ago.
Are you a core player now?
It seems to be. I'm a core player now. I'm 5-0 on the last 5 games with core. And with like ridiculous KDAs too, like actually carrying games. I don't know what that's like. I just been queuing off lane /mid and been getting mid every time. And then I
Wow.
just was like, is this what it's like to be a mid? You get the pick last, you get the counter pick, you get to just carry the game.
You actually won a game on Death Profit. That's commendable.
I was going to say, the fact that there's a Death Prophet game and 2 Venomancer games, I'm not sure the core clan would happily let you join, because there's some green, sweaty heroes. They're not your Invoker flashiness.
Surely Razor's the most sweaty.
Razor, yeah, no flash to him, it's just suck your fun dry.
Razor's the sweat last pick for sure. Like the 22 pick Razor, that is a classic. Death Prophet, though, I can respect that. I can't respect Veno, obviously, for obvious reasons, but I can respect Death Prophet. That's a cool hero.
The resilience of playing the Death Prophet game is impressive.
I once played a Death Prophet game on my friend Fred's account.
Oh, I remember that.
My friend Fred is unranked, and when I say unranked, I don't mean he hasn't calibrated yet. I mean he hasn't played enough games of Dota to even be able to play ranked. So he's not even Herald. He's like sub-Herald. Wood League, we would have said, back in the StarCraft days. I played a game of Death Prophet on his account and lost, and I was about 0-5 or something. So that's basically my experience of Death Prophet. I'm not even good enough to win a game in sub-Herald, so I commend you for getting a W on the board with that.
Yeah, I don't know. They picked Anti-Mage, so I picked Death Prophet. I just figured it was okay.
Yeah, fair.
Bold.
My games have been okay. We'll get onto the like matchmaking system in the patch and all that in our little welcome back intro bit that we're doing at the start here. But it's weird because I'm in a situation now where when I play solo ranked, I want to win core MMR because like I do want to climb. So I'm going to pick my best position, which is mid, which makes it a weird situation where now I just never play offlane or position 1 in solo ranked. Whereas back, you used to, you roll for mid and you lose. You basically play whatever position is left.
Pick line and grief the game.
Yeah. But now it's like, I've got a little spreadsheet and it's just mid forever because that's all I ever play. So I don't know. That's just an interesting observation. I don't know if I can even... To be fair, I did just win a Timbersaw side lane game, so, But that's it. Solo ranked is just mid forever, I guess.
How long are your queue times with just mid?
It's weird because it used to be pretty short. It used to be like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, but recently it's been like 7 to 10 minutes. Occasionally you get a quick one, but it's been like 7. I'd say 7 minutes is pretty normal queue time. And it's consistent enough where like I will queue and then I'll go and make a cup of tea or something. And then I'm not even worried about missing the queue because I know it has to be at least 5 minutes before I get a game.
That's funny.
So, yeah, it's quite funny. Yeah, that's about all I can report. Meepo's carrying my MMR. If this hero didn't exist, I'd probably be 2k. That's about it. What do you reckon about the patch? How do we feel about the patch? I'm personally very happy that this emergency ALK nerf, Ench nerf patch came out because I didn't play immediately after TI. Like Adam, I was like away. I was on holiday. But I did watch a lot of Dota content and people were pulling their hair out about this Alchemist hero. And now his win rate's just dropped off a cliff. So I'm very happy that I didn't have to experience that. Marco, is the pub patch, post whatever it is, 7.22G, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean...
They removed the crazy abusable stuff, right?
Yeah, the IO change as well is another welcome one, particularly when everyone watches it be so OP at TI and then that's going to start leaking into pubs and people abusing it. That gets changed as well. It's another good one. So now it's in a pretty, healthy place. There's no... It's healthier than TI because there's been a mini patch after TI. Like it's one of the best places pubs have been in. I feel like I've not been playing hundreds of games, but pretty happy with it. At the same time, I'm excited for some wonky, cool, bigger patch. Not necessarily for the heroes, but just for how is the game going to evolve in any way, or even like client interface stuff or whatever is always exciting. Map change is always exciting. That's it. New heroes and new items always adds a lot of new spice. So looking forward to that, but not necessarily bothered about gameplay changes, really. or balance changes. So yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Adam, what's your experience been with 7.22G and or also like the matchmaking system now that we've had a bit of time?
I don't know about the new matchmaking. I don't know if I like it yet because it seems pretty abused by Smurfs, especially where I'm at, especially in party games.
Yeah.
It's usually these immortal stacks that have 3 legit people and then like 2 Smurfs, and then they just, they stomp you, and then you lose like 30 or 40 because they're Smurfs and they gain 30 or 40. And it seems to be when I lose games, I lose more MMR than when I win.
Yeah.
So it's like a net negative all the time.
You've got to be crazy out of your mind to actually think you can win MMR playing party ranked unless you're playing with like 2 Smurfs.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree. Party ranked is just the system. Just if you're it lets you gain MMR from smurfing, literally. So.
But they're still working on it. I mean, I like the idea of what they're doing, but they're still fleshing out the kinks. And then my queue times, they're non-existent for support games, but I haven't really been playing the support games not in party. So they've been like 10 or 12 minutes, I think, for these offlane mid ones, which isn't terrible. I just tab out and do other things, and then it pops like, oh yeah, I'm going to play a DotA game now. It's not the worst. It's not like a maternal envy watching a full movie or something before I get to play a game.
Yeah.
Then, like gameplay wise, it's felt good. I don't know why I'm winning so hard or why I'm carrying so hard. It's not like I came back from China and I just have so much better understanding of what's going on, or why I'm like all of a sudden can play mid. But I don't know, I'm glad Alchemist got nerfed. He probably got touched a little too much. I don't know. It's like that's the mana change on Chemical Rage. That's like killer. Just brutal for that hero to deal with. And then you combine that with was it like a 25% nerf on gold?
Yeah. On the stack, gold stacking. Yeah,
that's those two things in tandem. It's like you just can't cast Acid Spray reliably enough without ferrying out a ton of mana in the pots. And then Enchantress, rest in peace.
They slapped Enchantress, yeah.
I think she's probably still playable, but not just first pickable offlaner. You can't move this hero anymore.
Yeah. I mean, Adam says he suddenly knows how to play mid. He suddenly knows how to play Venomancer and Last Pick Razor.
That Razor wasn't last pick. It was second phase, sir.
Oh, okay.
They already picked Kunkka, so I picked it thinking it'd be okay. And Veno, I hit gold tier with Veno. I'm a good Veno.
Yeah, man. I commented on it. I was like, wow, gold tier Veno. That's some good stuff.
That's my third gold tier behind CM and Lich. It's Veno.
No, I'm just bitter because I've got over 100 games of TA and a negative win rate. So anytime someone starts playing mid, I just get a bit angsty. I just can't, bothers me a bit. So, I like the patch. It's what Marco said. It would have been. There's no better time to do like a mini patch than after TI, because TI is like the most figured out a meta's going to get pretty much through the year. So the pro teams figure out TI meta, and then Valve just nerfs the stuff that's really abusable, and then it's a good time for pub players pretty much, I would say. And then I'd echo what you said about the matchmaking changes. I like the role queue element of it. I like the fact that I'm guaranteed to play the role that I want to play. At the moment, obviously, there are problems with it at high MMR, but I like that part of it. And like you said, they just need to figure out a way to sort of tweak the party parts of it, because it's too easy for you to... Like, Marco could hop on his second account and just boost me to Immortal.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they're just going to do that. So, I mean, I'll have to figure something out about that. But I'm not worried. I'm glad they're experimenting. I'm happy that the change happened, because I'd way rather they're trying to like make the experience better of playing Dota 2 than just keeping it as it is forever. So that's good.
I definitely encourage them to take this step of trying to make ranked and competitive games more team orientated. That is definitely healthier and more enjoyable.
Yeah, it's really just Smurfs. I mean, they still got to figure out a way to deal with Smurfs, and that was a problem before the matchmaking change. So, if anything, this just illustrates more of the same. Is like Smurfs are an issue.
Like, sure, they should just do something like, if you are immortal rank and your account has less than 500 games, you should get a fucking ban because you're obviously Smurf.
Yeah, that's true.
It's kind of simple.
But it's also, that's like for accounts selling stuff, like new accounts, but they also need to think about people that have lots of games that are like Divine, normally would be Divine, but then their friends boost them to Immortal.
Yeah.
By winning, but whatever.
Yeah, they should. Yeah, hopefully they should correct themselves if they stop playing with a Smurfy friend. And all that.
Yeah, that's true.
Did you guys ever get to try out Carry Wisp before it got changed?
Yes.
None of us. Did you try it? I was going to say that we played against it.
I played it post change. I played a Carry IO game post change.
How was that?
Let me find it.
Because I was undefeated on Carry IO before change. I played probably 3 games on it. It felt so fun.
Oh, I won actually. Oh, it was Turbo. Okay, it was Turbo.
Oh, okay. Well, that completely doesn't matter about
delegitimizes it. Wow.
Well, just the changes, Turbo fixes.
Yeah, because you just get level 20.
Yeah.
We lost a game against it in quite a cool. That was a fun game. Frustrating loss, but it was a fun game that we played against an Immortal rank 1.2k Wisp grinder. It was level 21 Wisp or something. And we really should have won that game, but basically techies had other things in mind. Enemy techies. It was one of those where you need to kill the IO pre-20. This just illustrates how broken IO was before the patch, because even killing him pre-20 is a bit of a challenge when the enemy team have an Ench and a techies. I can't remember what else they had, but just heroes that delay, and it's man, imagine having to do that before level 15. Goodness me, this hero was insanely broken. But yeah, we lost that game.
Yeah, I felt I still haven't lost a game where I've gotten Klink's Ags. If you click, it just changes the hero completely, and it's the same thing with Wisp. You get that Ags in level 15, it was okay, we can't lose now because all these balls were just so obnoxious. But it got changed, so
yeah, happy that one's changed. Although it would have been interesting to see pub players trying to play Carry IO. Although to be fair, it's not even that hard to play. I don't even think Carry IO is hard to play.
It's not hard.
It's not hard to play.
Yeah, it's way easier than a support IO that's got to be really well positioned and responsive, etc.
You just get a helm, and then you do your helm creep, and you're oh, I just farm now.
Marco, obviously TI, OG kind of won with a lot of really aggressive play. Do you think that's Do you think that's reflected in pubs? Do you think that it's a fighty meta, or do you think no one really knows?
I don't know if it's just slight confirmation bias, or maybe it's skewed to the higher level pubs. I don't know, but I do definitely feel the nature of gameplay in pubs has improved. Honestly, I feel the teams, or most of them I've come across, and even in party games when we've had, say, a 5-stack, that enemy teams will be way more active as a unit. I feel pos for Potem's been really common, and then the Potem ult, whatever that's called, I feel that's been getting used way more aggressively, and teams are looking to make kind of big skirmishes happen quite frequently. There's more aggressive team play going on, which I think is fun and interesting to play with. And then also I feel the itemization, solars and pipes, better utilized. There's been a couple games where I've been playing maybe with one or two other people and a couple randoms, and it's felt absolutely impossible to win the game because the enemy team is playing correctly, and they were and we couldn't do anything. Like, they are just balling up, and there's nothing we can stop them. There's, like, no win condition on our team. They have covered every, like, they've got all the right items. They're making all the right movements as a team. I've played in a few games where it's literally felt impossible to win. I don't know if that's, the team being total shit, but I don't think so. Honestly, I feel like teams are playing a little bit better after TI. And, don't know. It's an interesting one. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's harder to get away with really greedy lineups. I don't. This is maybe something just personal to me that I've changed, but because I've started to not pick greedy mids. Revolutionary idea coming here. I've started to not pick greedy mids when I have a greedy position 1. I mean, I don't think that's changed with the TI, but for the rest of the world, that's just me catching up. But I think in general, greedy lineups are kind of harder to pull off. But then, having said that, Midas is a really popular item, so I don't know. It's definitely an interesting one to think about. It's hard to say, but I definitely think it's more fighty meta. Yeah. And like you say, the extent to which that is down to teams just trying to fight more, or whether the meta actually rewards fighting, that's hard to say.
That one's hard to untangle, yeah. Another comment I'd make is, we spoke about patch changes in the past where they were implemented to increase the average game time. So when we saw these tower HP armor going up, multi-cast from the tower glyph, etc., there have been changes in the past designed to increase average game time. But then I feel like in the last month, because of this TI meta and people learning from the pros and then like seeing what's effective, I do feel like the average game time as like an average game and meta has come down, despite no kind of background patch changes, but just gameplay of teams. And it's hard to say if skirmishing rewards more, but that's what people are doing.
Well, towers are harder to hit, but heroes are just as easy to hit. It's like OG. It's not even like pressuring objectives. It's just like brawling, because it's harder to split push because towers are stronger, and it's harder to take a mid tower before you go into the enemy jungle.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are just going in there anyway before towers are down. It's like just brawly more. I definitely feel like players are way more willing to just run into the jungle, enemy jungles, to try and find kills, rather than making concerted efforts to, say, like push a tower or something.
Yeah, definitely.
So
rather than waiting or being more passive, waiting 5 minutes before those tower pushes come into play because of how it's harder to do so, rather than take that more back foot approach, teams are definitely way more, all right, let's go with spells early game, like you say, and it seems rather than back foot, it's more people are on the front foot.
I wonder if our viewers are collectively screaming into their computers or phones or whatever device they're listening to the pod on, saying that it's a hangover from Alchemist and we just missed it because we weren't playing during that time, because we literally missed the immediate post-TI patch where Alk is in literally every game ever. And you literally have to shut him down in the jungle.
That's a good point.
Or he just wins the game at like 15 minutes with Rady BKB or, Rady AC or something. So that's why supports and cores and whoever else now, they're just conditioned over the last month to just run into the enemy jungles and run into space and try and find kills. And now Alchemist isn't in the meta, but people are still doing it, so maybe. Adam, what do you reckon about gameplay? Do you think we're barking mad, or do you think more fighty, or?
It seems like people are more active. I mean, it's a small sample size, but it seems people are getting picks into objectives. It feels like my teams have been very cognizant of defending the middle tower.
Yes, I think that's a big one. Defending towers and taking fights at towers to stop them going down.
Yeah, and if you take the enemy middle tower, it opens up both sides of the jungle. What else? I feel like it's been a bit skewed because I've played against Anti-Mage a fair few times, and that's just like you want to kill all the buildings before Anti-Mage gets a Battle Fury, right? And that's kind of how it has gone. But I guess it's kind of the same effect as an ALK would have. You just kind of get your levels and then group up and kind of kill the other 4 heroes is what it's kind of been. And then the heroes I've picked with Razor, Veno, and Death Prophet kind of lend themselves towards pushing.
I think a bit of a story time. So the meta sort of, in the run-up to TI was a bit longer, right? I'm thinking ESL Birmingham, even group stages of TI before the meta developed, that obviously in the group stage of TI you have like a hangover from previous metas, like in the run-up to TI. It was very like late game orientated. Heroes like Wraith King were really popular, Naga Siren, even Anti-Mage a bit. And it was kind of, and Marco, I don't know if you remember Birmingham, a lot of hard farming position 1s.
Yeah,
not so much. Yeah, exactly, like Enigma jungle, like really greedy kind of lineups. And so I think what happened is, obviously I don't know, but the theory would be those heroes that are late game orientated get a bit nerfed because the meta is late game orientated. And so come TI time, these like late game heroes just relatively are less strong because they've had little nerfs. And suddenly the most picked heroes in Divine and Mortal at the moment, and obviously these heroes naturally were ones that did very well at TI, like Tiny, the absolute epitome of just an aggro early mid-game constant brawler, like Ogre Magi, that's just
Ember
great
Spirit,
hero,
running around,
Ember,
fighting, Lash fighting,
even the position 1s like Void, Jug, constant uptime, Gyrocopter. I mean, I know Gyro's kind of like a trashy pub hero, but he's got a 14% pick rate in Divine Plus. Again, Gyro, constant activity. So I think relatively speaking, the brawly kinds of heroes are good. Slark, another one that's pretty aggro. He comes online quickly. He's able to, you can itemize to fight with him quickly. He's drums. I mean, you can get a drums on Slark and you're good to go. Diffusal, first item Diffusal. And
other side, you just have Enchantress as well at the time, where you could just sit her in a lane and not have to worry. Can occupy 2 heroes space and then bully out a safe laner at level 6.
Yeah.
Without items.
Yeah. And you had Alchemist, which is... Alchemist is a funny one, because you think of him as a hard farmer because of Greed Always Greed, but he's really not. He just farms for like 15 minutes. It's not actually that long. If a hero that's online after 15 minutes is not even... It's not even like a hard farmer. It's just...
Yeah, it's just that he got to have 30-minute items at level 15 minutes. That was... Yeah. So you just like abuse this timing where he got to be really big for the relative time, because he falls off at 25.
Yeah, I mean that's basically the meta. I mean, have we got any more thoughts before we jump forward into our chosen heroes about anything that's happened over the last month of Dotes?
No, I think that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. Bring on 7.23 or 8.0 or whatever it is.
You can't joke about that, Stan, because you don't appreciate the 7.0 reveal patch enough, alright?
Post 7.0 scrub.
Yeah.
Watch him out.
I realized back when
tears
a patch would last 6 months. That's... Yeah, it would be like 6.83 for 6 months, and you wouldn't have... There wouldn't be 6.83 B or C. It was like, no, this is the patch you get, and it's going to sit like that forever.
Hey, you don't need to tell me. I stuck with StarCraft 2 for about 5 years after everyone else quit, when there was literally like a patch every year or something. So, yeah. I mean, when I've got into Dota, I've played Dota for like 3 months, and Marco's like, oh, check out this video. It's such a cool vid, actually. It's so good. And I'm like expecting some like game highlights or something. Some crazy
it's just numbers.
It's just numbers. And I'm like, what is this? And he's like, look at the numbers. Look at it. It's 6. Now it's 7. How incredible is it? Oh, actually, don't watch this video. I want the one with the crowd reactions. Like,
It's funny when you actually say it, because you say you've had 3 months of game. I never realized, never like stopped to think that you'd only played the game, say 3 months rather than 10 years. So the emotional investment wasn't quite there.
So, heroes. We've picked out the first one we were going to talk about is Night Stalker. One, because the hero's in a really good spot, both statistically. So this month he's got a 54% win rate in Divine Immortal, 6.5% pick rate, and just anecdotally in my games, I always feel like Night Stalker can just solo carry games, like as if he's a position 1, even though he obviously most often position 3. And also because we have Adam, who's a classic Night Stalker player. Well, he was a Night Stalker player before his transformative experience in China, where he learned how to play Death Prophet. But
so he got one change, right? Only one line of text on the changelog?
It's a pretty big change.
No, I'm saying it's just one line, though, right? It's just
the Void
doesn't deal half damage at day. Well, that's huge.
So now for 5 more minutes, 5 minutes times how many daytimes, he's now outputting twice as much damage with his one spell.
Yeah, he actually gets to be a hero again.
And it opens the door for Aghanim Scepter, which is now pretty core item.
A 4,200 gold item that was like shitty for half the game. Now it's actually like really good.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I've seen a bunch of Night Stalker. I don't know how much of this is experimental or whether it's just like purely legit, but I've been seeing Night Stalkers just rush Ags.
So, clarify what the Ags is, because I wasn't aware of this until an hour ago.
So it changes Void into an AoE with a Scepter AoE of 900, so quite a substantial AoE.
A round unit, right?
I think around the target of Void.
Isn't he? It's about the same size as his Silence, right? Or am I?
No, it's
mistaken?
bigger. You just press Q and it's around his hero. It's like 400 whatever radius.
Okay,
around
so it's no longer a point. It's no longer a point target. Yeah. So and also it increases the stun duration and reduces the cooldown by 2. So the cooldown changes from 6 seconds to 4 seconds. Pretty strong. It's good for farming.
Does this guy have mana issues when he gets Aghanims?
Yeah. Yeah, he should have mana issues. Because the ult's like 225, I think, at max. Or 250.
And I presume at level 10 talent you get HP 200 rather than 200 mana?
Usually that's what
usually
what I get, yeah.
But then how do you compensate the mana? Or has it not been an issue, or is it not an issue with Ags because that gives you a decent bit of stats or something?
Yeah, I mean, you obviously like Urn and Medallion. I mean, Medallion gives a tiny amount, but those are pretty common items. So
Solar Crest gives a little, right? A little
Crest gives a little, 1.5. We can fix it in that way. Clarities are always good. I don't know how I feel about Urn, just to jump forward, because I just think you want to get Phase Boots, Solar Crest, BKB, and maybe Ags. It's hard for me to say how good Ags is, because I've only seen it a couple of times, but I don't know when you'd want to fit in Ags, but certainly Crest, BKB, Phase Boots. I wouldn't even want to put an Urn or unless it's an insanely good Super Urn game, like it's a crazy good Super Urn game.
Yeah.
I just would want to just go Phase, Solar Crest, BKB, and that's just, you use Nighttime, you use Crippling Fear, you just void someone and just destroy them during Crippling Fear duration.
Yeah, I think you should leave the Urn for your position 4. If you're going to cast on someone, it's like 200 damage that you do over time, over 8 seconds. He's going to output way more right click from a Medallion taking off 8 armor. So, yeah.
For definite.
I like the sound of the build, Phase, Solar Ags.
I think the fact that I know Solar Crest got a little nerf in 7.22G. What did they do? They reduced the
armor. I think it goes from 12 to 10.
That's right, yeah. And a slight increase in the price. That's whatever. But it's still a great item, and it's such a good item on Night Stalker, so that's part of the reason why he's sort of risen to prominence a little bit. We saw it a little bit at TI, not a lot. I think pro teams are much better able to play around nighttime and daytime and all the rest of it. In pubs, though, the mobility of Dark Ascension and Hunter in the Night, there's no hero better at nighttime. I mean, really, on equal farm. So, what's his laning like, Adam?
Well, it was terrible because the first 5 minutes of the game were at daytime, and Void was awful at the daytime.
Right. So,
but now it's like I think it'd be fine because Void was a fine thing to throw out. You could last hit range creeps with it, and then you couldn't once it was halved in damage. Now you can. It's a really strong, just a harass spell because the slow on it is really strong too. That lingers.
And skill build wise, I presume it's just like the same as always. Do you want to just like max Void or what?
I feel like that's what I would always do. And then I saw people do like 3-1-1-1 at 6 because you kind of want to have silence.
Yeah.
At level 6. But then I've also seen people like max the silence. That felt kind of weird. Or max the hunter. Weird. I feel like with the way Void is now, I think you want to max it again because it's really good damage.
Yeah.
At was it like 325 or something?
335 at level 4, and you
that's
reduce
really
the cooldown when you level it up as well. So
yeah,
and it's mini stuns. So that's always the rub is like, ooh, do I Void so I can do a lot of damage and slow them to where I can catch up and start hitting them, but then they're gonna like immediately TP after. It's one of those
big brain plays. He is such a great pub hero though for like you say the mobility of him, and even just he's a tanky motherfucker. Like tanky heroes do well in pubs. Heroes that are hard to kill and hard to deal with, all from minute 0 throughout the entire game. This is him. It's going to have success, and then he's got a pretty strong kit. These items are now going really well with him. Solar Ags, pretty strong.
He completely shuts down some carries that you wouldn't like think so, because they might itemize a certain way, but your silence is better than any other silence in the game.
Yeah.
Like you can't manta it off or anything. Yeah. Like I just remember that game where we just destroyed a jug because he couldn't spin. Like I just sat on top of him. And he couldn't spin or jump, and then like AM, okay, like blink, and then I catch up to you. And you like, who cares if you manta? You're just like, silence.
Seriously punishes these kind
or
of
bristleback or just
heroes. Greedy heroes that
the two most popular carries in Dota right now are Void, Faceless Void, and Lifestealer, and he's excellent against both of them. You can't time walk and you can't rage. And both of the heroes like absolutely need that.
It's kind of like every agi carry has that kind of, they have a spell that helps them get out of situations. Even like a blink from a PA or a pounce from a Slark or a dark pack from a Slark. All these agi heroes rely on something to give them a bit of defensive utility, and all of them get shafted by Night Stalker's AoE silence.
Yeah. It's just that much easier to get on top of someone with... I know it's a change a long time ago, but it's funny to think that Night Stalker didn't used to be able to fly. He's been flying for so long now that it's kind of... You forget that, but... I remember how bizarre it felt when they first made the change where you use Dark Ascension and suddenly you just gain flight for some reason.
Yeah, Batman.
And just Ags vision. That was his old Ags.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah,
you just get the flying vision.
Yeah, bizarre. So, he's a fun hero. The other thing that I would shout out about Night Stalker is how versatile the build is, item-wise. Maybe his skill build is not versatile anymore. I do think you do generally have to max Void. But item-wise, you can go a lot of different directions. I think Crest is core, unless it's a really funky game where you just don't think you need it. Looking at the guides on Dota Buff, some people have got a medallion and then left it. But there's a bunch of drums, there's a bunch of Ags. To go Spirit Vessel or not, that's a legitimate question. Obviously, Night Stalker is a great Spirit Vessel carrier if it's that kind of game. Halberd, another underrated item that's amazing on Night Stalker. Obviously, BKB, you want that. And then beyond that, there's some cheeky blinks thrown in. Some bashers if you're turning into a position 1, or some team items. Less heavy on the team items. There's only 1 or 2 pipes, but...
When you get to level 20, 50 damage talent, then level 25, extra 140 attack speed, this guy starts pumping damage, so you can actually scale into a right clicker if a game goes late.
Then strength talent too, which is also damage at 15.
Yeah, he's got great talents, I think.
He does so much damage. He doesn't fall off because of the talents.
And his ult gives bonus damage, too.
Yeah.
It's 150,
yeah.
I think, at 18.
He doesn't fall off. That's what's been so surprising about this hero, is you see position 3 Night Stalker and you think, oh, that's cool. In the mid game, we're going to be pretty strong at night time or just when Dark Ascension's up. That's really strong for us. We're going to be able to brawl in the mid game. The mid game passes, you're in this late game situation, and he's just 1-0 in the enemy team. Or one of the enemy. It's like a guaranteed kill. Especially if you have some sort of high mobility follow-up, like a Lifestealer bomb inside of a Night Stalker, which is honestly one of the best Lifestealer combos, because you just crippling fear on top of them, and now you've got a Night Stalker and a Lifestealer pumping into you with a Solar Crest. A hero just melts. Or, of course, the more classic ones like a Storm or an Ember that can just provide a little bit of damage. It's like a free kill, no matter what. And it just doesn't fall off. Late game, mid game, doesn't matter. The talents are that good.
I think he's also coming back to why he's good in pubs. Another one of those heroes that really excels on the enemy team not being very coordinated. And when you think about your Rickies and Bounty Hunters and heroes picking off heroes one-on-one, this hero thrives on just chasing one hero down. He's very easy to control or stop if you just got two heroes. This can get abused in pubs when people aren't playing cohesively.
Yeah, for sure.
Small point on why I think he's doing well.
4.1% base HP regen. That's kind of crazy. That's like extremely high.
It must be one of the highest.
Yeah, that's like, it's not Ogre levels, but it's not far. Ogre's got 5.8. He's got 4.1. Other like strength heroes like Legion 2.5, Lifestealer 2.5. That'll help you out a little bit.
Ogre,
not to be dismissed. It's like double the regen.
And then Night Stalker.
Axe 5.3. Goodness me, I did not know that. Adam, you're a Night Stalker player. Can you guess what hero Night Stalker is worst versus and best versus?
Worst? It's probably best against Storm or something, right?
Storm is 2. And the
Ember
number
Spirit?
1 hero. No. Ember Spirit's not there. But Storm is number 2, and then a hero that's extremely similar to Storm is number 1. Traditionally a mid hero that can't get silenced or is screwed.
Quap?
No. I'll give you another clue. It's a hero that Marco lost to. Yeah, I was going to say Marco lost to a Legend Ursa once playing mid with this hero.
Oh, yeah.
That's the. I mean, obviously you're going to get it once I've said that, because that's who could forget that famous game. But yeah, Puck's number 1. And then worst versus. I mean, I'll give you a medal if you can guess this one.
I have no idea. Let's say like Disruptor.
Naga Siren.
Naga.
I don't know why. I mean,
that kind of makes sense.
You mean, I guess it makes sense in the sense that if you go on a Naga and she just uses Manta and right clicks you probably will die.
Yeah.
I don't think, even with the silence, I just think you die to Naga, so.
Yeah, you need to deal with those illusions.
Yeah, and you don't. Unless you build Ags. Maybe the new Night Stalker will change that. But yeah, for now, Night Stalker. And for now, Naga Siren is the worst hero. What kind of things are you looking out for when you're thinking about picking Night Stalker? We'll say from the 3 role, because that is, I feel like, it used to be a 4, but I feel like 90% of the time these days it's just a 3. What kind of like role does it provide as an offlaner? Because it's not really like a team offlaner, it's just like a pure brawl offlaner kind of thing.
Yeah,
I just think you want to make sure damage. You want to make sure your silence is of value, because if the AoE silence isn't very good, I wouldn't pick him.
Right.
Like that's kind of like he just like destroys mid game team fights before people get BKB, because they're really relying on their spells. And if you can just run in and silence everything, you just eat supports before they get to do anything. Like nothing's more sad than to be a lion or something, and then a Night Stalker catches you in the AoE, and you just have to sit there and take it.
Yeah, for sure. Do you think you need a good lane for this hero, or?
Well, I think it's a lot easier now that you have your Void. Now all you need is some mangoes. I think you can lane just fine against most people because you have really good base damage and HP, and I don't think your armor situation is terrible. Level 1, maybe 2 or 3.
Wow, 4.9.
Okay, so yeah, you're actually... I didn't even realize that. Yeah, you're in like very strong right-click trade territory with that.
Yeah, for sure.
And then if your 4 position has a Bassi, you're just Ogre Magi.
Yeah. Marco, obviously, this hero is a lot stronger at nighttime than he is at daytime. Just in terms of a more general Night Stalker thing, not necessarily to do with today's meta, but maybe, I don't know if that's changed at all, but how do you want to manage the clock, as it were? Is it just farm in the day and fight in the night, or like, what are you thinking when the first nighttime comes? Is it like, wow, I've really got to get stuff done at this point and move around the map, or...
I feel like in the past, there's definitely been more pressure on the first nighttime to be fruitful, whereas the feeling I get today is that, and in recent times, is that this hero doesn't need the first nighttime to be GG or else he's useless. It feels like you say, he could farm through the first nighttime or pressure a tower, get a tower, bring a fight to him, say if he's pressuring a tower and do work there, or if that doesn't happen, just farm and it'd actually be fine. And then you come out at 10 minutes, another 5 minutes of downtime where you're a bit farmy, maybe you help a kill or two, but then you get phase, say, solar, or you hit that one first item, and I think that would align with the second nighttime, and from there you can boom go, and just like 15-minute mark, as we've been saying with the theme being brawl, 15 minutes to 20 minutes, prime time to brawl and take over a map and take over a game.
Yeah, definitely. I'll say for any viewers who still live in real life clocks rather than orientating themselves to Dota clocks like addicts such as ourselves, the clock changes every 5 minutes. So the first night's at 5 minutes, then it's daytime again at 10, nighttime again at 15, daytime again at 20, so on, so on, so on. I feel like it used to be like 4 or something. I think they changed that.
It could have been 6, could have been 4.
6, okay. But
Bounties,
yeah, it's 5 now.
They time nicely with bounties, that's a way to remember it. But the idea of bounties works so well with him, because you'll get these moments when it's, okay, it's going to turn nighttime exactly now, and it's exactly when he'd want to fight, because it's a bounty. So that's a pretty nice time.
And then even when it turns daytime, you can just pop your ult.
Yeah.
So you can fight on the other one.
Yeah, true.
I'd say it's better when it's night before the bounty spawns, so the pre-bounty skirmish, you get complete vision, and then even if you want to keep fighting post-bounty, you just pop your ult. So, Night Stalker, try this hero. I mean, I don't feel like there's much more to say. I like him. Solar Crest, good item. BKB, good item. Phase Boots, good item. Ags, good item? ? Probably. So, after those beautiful drum renditions, of course we're bringing back the drums, time to talk about Mirana for about 15 minutes, I suppose. This hero has gone from laughingstock to, when I say laughingstock, I mean position 4 Mirana has gone from laughingstock to legit meta staple with a 55% win rate in Divine Plus. The real deal, and all it took was Dan in our Discord channel spamming him in Crusader games.
It's crazy. It was such a meme, pos for Mirana.
It was Jungle Legion meme.
So much. It was on that level, yeah. And now it's like 55% win rate and is every game.
Yeah, and it's like picked up in TI like all the time.
I remember that first day of TI games, that first night I was watching them alone. And we were like, the meme was Elder Titan ever going to be picked? Okay, got picked in like 3 of the first, they happen in sets of 4, the games. So like 3 of the first 4 matches had Elder Titan in them. Like, oh wow, this is a thing. And then also like position for Mirana was in 3 of the 4 games. Like, oh no, what's going on? Like, what is this?
Oh yeah, position for Invoker as well. We're all
yeah,
like,
what is happening?
Too, yeah.
But then the Mirana pictures kept coming and coming. Like, oh my gosh, this is actually good. It's actually going to keep happening.
Yeah. I very much was in the same position as you. I think the first time I saw it, I was like, wait, what? They're actually going to run a position for Mirana? Wow, this is so interesting. And then I think I probably looked at Liquidpedia and saw Mirana, and like Adam, I saw it in 3 games and was like, oh, wait, what? I need to put this on the Discord. Like, what is going on? And then obviously Invoker to top it off. That's just salt in the wound of my preconceived ideas about what position 4 should be. But there you are. It's kind of interesting as well, because I really feel like Mirana's sort of died. Well, Adam is of the position that it can be played in any position, but I feel like I only see it really 4 and sometimes 2 in pro games, but I haven't come up against a Mirana mid in forever, and I never see it played position 1 either. It seems to just be 4, which is just quite funny, because I only respected it as like a mid or a carry, really, and now I guess I just have to respect it as a 4.
4 is definitely the most common now. I'd say it's like majority of the time.
Yeah.
Like multiple times over, you might have in 6 games, you might have 5 be 4 position.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I don't really care for it as a 5 position or a 3, really.
Yeah. It seems bad. So you can't, as a 5 position, you can't make the most out of W. Like, you can't make the most out of this arrow. Like, what are you really going to do as a position 5 Mirana? You just try and get level 6 and then just use Moonlight Shadow, and it just seems so bad as a 5 to me. Whereas a 4, it suits it pretty well if you can land your arrows.
Yeah, you can move around and farm the jungle camps, which seems to be a big part of it now.
Yeah, for sure. Marco, what's changed about 4 Mirana? Have you played any games?
I mean, I've played a couple 4 Potens.
And you've watched a lot of them, obviously.
And yeah, watched them as well. I think, so I mean, change log-wise, one of the biggest changes Potem got was the leap replenish time. And that's obviously really going to help a position 4 not dying. That's great. Watching it in the pro games, it seems like the ult has been the big, as well as the obvious, all right, get some good heroes that can set up a stun. If you hit a 4-second stun, just with another hero that has a stun, yeah, that's crazy good. But I've been seeing way more usage of the ult in offensive plays. Typically, I always felt like this was an ult that was never really used, or I mean, at least when I played Pokemon, it's like I don't even bother skilling the ult till level 15 or something.
Yeah, neither does Sumail, don't worry about
it. Yeah, like who cares about this? Give my team invis. I just want to get maximum damage from my other spells. But I feel like in more recent times, people play it pos 4, but then use the ult very offensively. So you'll suddenly have 4 heroes just blow you up. You're the carry, you're the mids, and you're not going to have sentries all in your woods and things like this. And offensively, it can be very strong when played correctly. And so I think pros have really done that well. And I think in pubs, people are coming together to do that better now as well. And even that, it goes with the skirmish philosophy, like Potem with that ult goes really well with it. More fighting, getting those arrows combos going. Things are just falling into place for her.
It's a ridiculously good ultimate when you think about it. If you think about how many times you've played a pub and you just get team wiped, literally team wiped because of Moonlight Shadow, because the enemies get to start a fight, or indeed you if you've got the Mirana on your team, just perfectly. You can smoke plus Moonlight Shadow at the same time.
Yeah, you start a fight like blowing a hero or 2 up and then
yeah, it's GG. Like the team fight is GG. It's damage limitation immediately for the team without the Mirana. Another thing that I think is really strong about Mirana, I don't think this is necessarily something that's changed, but the position 4 can do quite a lot of damage. If you do land an arrow, or even if you don't, even if there's just some kind of disabled, Leap plus Starstorm is a lot of damage. So not only are you...
Starstorm?
Yeah, double Starstorm, exactly, yeah. So not only are you providing a potentially 5-second stun, like if it's maximum stun, which obviously gives damage as well. 80 probably for most of the game. I'm probably only going to get 1 point in it, right? But you follow that with Leap and a Starstorm, that's a dead hero for like most of the game. So it just offers a lot of damage as well at position 4, as well as the utility. When you level this with a hero like Tiny, it's quite interesting because in some ways they're similar in that they provide high damage and potential utility. Tiny has to get quite close before... I mean, toss interactions are weird. Maybe you could say you could toss someone in that has a stun or whatever for like long range stun. That's kind of gimmicky, whatever. But both are kind of reasonably unreliable lockdown. But when you do lock someone down, it's like a guaranteed kill almost. So it's quite interesting that the two most popular position 4s mirror each other a little bit.
I do think just the general fighting, people wanting to make fights happen, wanting to make ganks happen. That's what she wants. She doesn't want your team sat back and expecting this miracles arrow to make something happen. Potem is all about, you set me up, I'll guarantee a 4-second stun, and then that's just, everyone's laughing.
Yeah. Adam, you mentioned arrowing creeps. Do you think the fact that Mirana can scale as a right clicker because of the farming potential, how important is that to the hero? You don't necessarily live and die by landing arrows in the early game, although of course certainly helps.
Yeah, I think she can. Well, the problem is kind of with some 4 roamers is that they fall behind in levels, fall behind in farm, but she can secure farm as she walks around. Just arrows all the big creeps. They give a lot of experience now relative to other places on the map. I mean, this is parts of the map that weren't going to get farmed anyways. So in laning, you'll see she stacks the camp, and you're like, oh, she's going to take both these big creeps and then, get early level 3, early level 4. And, I feel like the arrow kind of feels like Pudge Hook in certain ways. Like, you can fish with it, and you just completely win a team fight or win a game off of one arrow.
LVP.
Yeah, exactly.
That happens.
Yeah. So that's always something that can happen. But then also, there's just so many really trivial setups. And there's just like with heroes that were already good. And they don't even need to be like the classic ones. Although Shadow Demon was picked all the time at TI. And that was that's a super classic one, as is like OD. But then you just need like an Ogre Magi Ignite or Earthshaker Fissure.
Yeah.
And it's just super easy chain kill. And double Starfall or double Starstorm is huge. And outside of I didn't see a lot of 4 positions going right click. I saw a lot of 4 positions at TI going Ags, which is just doubling down on your magic damage, or also going mech into Greaves.
Yeah,
and then
Greaves is huge on the
that one's kind of cool on her because she does kind of have mana problems, but then you don't have mana problems anymore with mana boots, and then that just progresses into the Greaves. You especially don't have mana problems then, and that's just huge heal. Combined with Leap, it's just like you just never die.
I've been seeing Atos as well. I think that is really nice for the stats mana, and then just more catch, more potential even setup for arrows is really tasty. Another point,
I do think that one's pretty good. I think that's mostly, I feel like that's more pubby than TI, but it's definitely a good pub build for sure. That and Yules.
Yeah. At TI, it'd be interesting to analyze, but I'm pretty sure 95% of games will have the winning team with a Greaves on them somewhere. To me, that item is just unbelievably good. If not a Greaves, there'll be a pipe. But another point about Potem so it's funny when there are these changes that happen months or years ago, and then sometime later in the meta, they become relevant. To me, level 15 talent is either 80 leap attack speed or minus 5 seconds sacred arrow. So say you're playing these mid or carry Potems, which is what you'd see at mid mainly. Yeah, you get that leap attack speed, and the DPS build is sick, Maelstrom, yeah. But now it's in POS 4, and now we go, oh, actually, there's a minus 5 second arrow cooldown talent. That's taking it from 15 to 10 seconds. Third, chunked off. That's significant. That's really significant. And then when we're fighting lots and lots, yeah, it's helpful to start a fight with an initiation, but also when skirmishes are happening and people are all over the place, it's not too hard to land an arrow. And it's all often better than a hook in the sense that, say you're a pudge on the outside of fights and the fight's been going on for a while, you could hook someone, but then it hook them away from your team, so it could be a bit counterproductive, you know what I mean? With a potem arrow, you could be on the outskirts of the fight, throw an arrow, no one's any idea where you are, and land this 4-second stun mid-fight, and do a couple of those because of this cooldown talent. It's massive, absolutely massive.
That's 3 arrows in a fight. If you lead off a fight with an arrow and then you get 2 more off during the skirmish, with it being only 10 seconds, that's like easy 3 arrows thrown. And that's just, sometimes you don't even need to hit the arrow. It's like space control. Yeah. Like people have to walk around. It's also good vision. Because part of me was kind of worried Mirana arrow would go the way of like troll axes and not give vision anymore. And I feel like that would be really tough.
So it gives vision whilst it flies? Is that
while it flies, yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
the double tome.
Oh, at 10, yeah.
Yeah, it helps everything.
Also, you mentioned how because of the 15 talent you can sort of throw 2-3 arrows. That's before you actually throw 3 arrows at 25.
Oh yeah, that's
Moonlight Shadow cooldown. 25 is an interesting one because perma Moonlight Shadow is kind of insane.
I've played in games where we've got fucked by that Moonlight Shadow cooldown talent because, particularly in the later part of the game when you don't have slots as well, and then you've got finite sentries and all this, it can seriously mess you up when you've got to play super scared all the time.
She might actually be better now because they made sentries even longer cooldown in between.
Yeah.
And when it gets to that late of a game scenario, Dust is terrible because it's on cooldown by the time it's like up again for more Moonlight Shadow. Like Dust is useless unless it's on 3 heroes and there's not enough sentries to go around. So it's like gem or bust. Yeah.
I think that, there's definitely a choice at 25. Obviously, multi-shot arrow is, most people are going to be picking that up, I imagine. Item-wise, though, obviously, we mentioned mana regen problems. The prominence of Bassi is a big help to the hero because Bassi is just, I feel like, a no-brainer for this hero.
And then you have good attack range and like attack speed. So the 8 damage in lane is very good harass.
You're never ever not going Bassi on this hero. So good, it's ridiculous. And then beyond that, Greaves is the obvious one, but you do have quite a lot of choices. You can go like a 4-staff and Ags, like has been mentioned. And even probably at TI, I bet people were building like Solar Crests just because every team needs to have one.
Situational Yules is always good too.
Situational Yules, certainly, yeah.
It's another setup, but also just really good against some heroes. And it gives you mana regen and move speed.
And with the innate farming ability with Arrow and even Starstorm and stuff, you'll be able to reach to these items more so than other position 4s. It's more attainable. Sure, you don't have a GPM talent, but you have farming spells. So you're going to be relatively more farmed on a Mirana position 4 versus other position 4s. So.
And then on if you go Ags, you have the level 20 talent as well. Was it 12%?
Yes.
Spell Amp?
Yeah, that's right.
You get the double dip on Starfall or Starstorm with the magic damage. It's funny how, it's what Marco was saying, there's like the standard core talent build on Mirana, but you could go like the exact opposite on the support one, and it's like just as valid, just as good. Because I don't think you want mana break on a support hero unless you're against someone like AM or like somebody you really want to burn the mana to where they can't blink away or they can't do something that they need. Like maybe against a TB or something so they can't use their Sunder. But then I would never want to get that spell amp on a core Mirana. So it's really funny.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting. I really like the fact that you can go for an item like Grease because right-click it, building other items even you think of Mirana, you think, oh, leap, attack speed, often played as a mid, Maelstrom, Javelin, common items on core Mirana. But like you said, just the complete opposite direction with support. You get your arrow, and then your damage that you could possibly want from a position 4 you already have, just from Starstorm and the leap with no items, and your W, your Sacred Arrow. So then you can just literally just go straight Greaves, and it's absolutely fine. And suddenly now, just Marco said, this item's so insane that it just takes your team fight and takes your push to a whole nother level. And just makes the hero that much more valuable that you can just freely go for a Greaves. You don't need a blink. So many position 4s need a blink, but you really don't, which is quite unique. So that's another feather in Mirana's cap, as it were.
It'd be interesting to see how they touch her up a little bit, because with being so strong right now,
yeah,
you expect that there will be some slight adjustment, but it's pretty hard to know where that will come in, because it could be, it's just really hard to know. There's no obvious, this spell needs to get nerfed a little bit. She's just got a lot of great stuff in a toolkit, and it all really goes well with this skirmish meta.
Before you used to get, you had their double Starstorm. They just changed the Ag's timing on the second one, right? Or something like that.
Yeah, it went from 9 to 8, I believe.
Well, I mean, like when they nerfed her originally, I think they made it longer or something.
When the Ags was really common, they did increase that charge time,
And then that's kind of
what damage on the second Ag.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think on the second one you would get a second.
Yeah, so you could do 4.
Yeah, you would get 4 on somebody. Yeah, so it made it, and then she just didn't get picked forever because other stuff became good. It's like, well, this hero isn't good in the same way it used to be. I don't want to spend the time on trying to figure out how it could fit. And now, then it just comes back.
Yeah.
I mean, the ult is so high impact for its global invis. Like, that's
so good.
Just talk about
so
it's so good.
Yeah.
Just taxes supports on the other team. I always hate playing against multiple sources of invis as like a solo support in a pub game, because you're never going to have enough detection. It's like you have to have detection for a fight, but then you also have to have detection for when they try and invade into your territory and kill your core so they can be safe. And then it's only going to be you carrying it, so you have no other items. And if you die first in a fight, then you just lose the entire fight because nobody's going to be able to see anything.
Yeah, it's just the punishment of not being cognizant of Mirana ult. The punishment for that is so high versus say a Ricky, or say they have a core Ricky and you forget that there's Ricky missing for a while. You might lose a hero. But if the enemy team is missing for a bit, for very shortly, and then you don't see the Moonlight Shadow icon on top of a hero, so you don't know they've popped it. If you don't realise that and immediately retreat, the punishment is you're going to get wiped, or you're going to lose 2-3 heroes, or you're going to
use tower.
And a tower, yeah. So it's just you've got to be on your toes the entire time when Moonlight Shadow is an option. You really can't let up, and the later the game goes, the more so you can't let up, because obviously the later the game goes, team fight may just mean that your throne's going down. So it's quite a punishing spell to be up against for the duration of a Dota match, that's for sure. Any final thoughts about Mirana? Hero's pretty fun. I don't know if I want to encourage the listeners to play Mirana 4, even though it's got a high win rate. I don't know if I've been scarred by Mirana 4s in my personal games, but that's that. Play this hero if you want.
She's my third most played, so I love her.
Yeah, must be up there for you, right, okay? Reasonably or not?
It should be. It's 4, 5. Yeah,
5. Wow. I have 6 games of Mirana. Still not, probably about midway for me. I've got so many heroes that I have 6 or less games on. Only 2 heroes I haven't played still. So there you go. That's Brewmaster and Shadow Demon. So I'll have to get on those soon. But yeah, that's at 52 of New Meta. Join us again. I don't know when, because I'm so out of kilter. We need to get a new schedule going. But at the very latest, it will be Friday. Possibly Tuesday. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. Join the Discord to find out. There you go. But until then, bye.
GG.
Back on the grind.